On our way home from school, I had to pick Ollie and Addie up, and then I had to pick Ava up. I've had a headache all day long, and actually, quite frankly, between the headache, the homework, and the work my homework, I have to finish looking at going over the second pass of the Ohio sale and finishing up the first part of the Lexington sale. Between all of that going on, and Aunt Lily being scratched tonight, I'm actually going to turn the lines over to Chris Page for Manhattan Money. I think he's more than capable of driving him. You know, the good thing, Manhattan Money has grown as a horse, both physically but mentally also. And as I said to Chris, you know, little grabby in the post braid, but kind of docile and quiet in the mile. Just drive him accordingly. Drive him however you want. You know, if you put him in a spot to win, he'll get there. You know, he's pretty partial to being second or third, but he'll get there if you put him in the right place. And I think Chris will be the right guy for him. It just made all the sense. I get stuff to do with the kids, and with the one horse being scratched already, a bunch of horses to train tomorrow, and a bunch of work that I have to get done. Remember, there isn't that many nights or days in the week where I can just say, okay, push everything out of the way. I'm just going to focus on the sale, focus on the sales catalog, or focus on this or focus on that. It's just incredibly hard for me to do that. So when I do have an evening, I can just not race. Then it's very helpful for me. So Manhattan Money will be driven by Chris Page tonight. We also have Delicious Stone. You know, I truly apologize. I don't know why. I do know why. Curtis says it's not as easy as it sounds getting the entries from the fairs as it is from getting the entries from the main USDA. You know where I'm going with this. From the main USDA thing. When you look up a horse, when you look up results or entries, you either have to do it by parimutuel races or by fair races, right? Dune raced today. Wasn't on our catalog. It wasn't on our calendar that I'm aware. And it wasn't until about an hour before I posted somebody told me that she was racing today. Not only did she race, she won. So we had our first winner of the day, and it really wasn't celebrated the way it should be, to be honest. And that's obviously, there's a number of things we have to work on. You know, I talked very extensively about getting back to our roots and doing things that I want to do and I want to get done over the next year. And I'm going to be able to do that because of John and his team that are coming on board to run the business side of things. And you're going to see some of that start to take place in the coming days and weeks. Well, this would be an important part of that, being able to properly document all our horses that are entered into Go and racing and how they raced. Dune raced very good. It was actually a very good race. She just hung on at the wire, raced it tough the whole way on the front end, 1 mile and 2 minutes on a fair track. And I think they were racing for like 14 or 15,000. So it was a good day today in Michigan to start off the day. We have Manhattan Money today, and we also have Delicious Stone, who has put up, well, it's hard to categorize what he's done, but I can tell you what he has done. Won more races in 1 year than any other horse we've had this year, for sure. He's got 10 wins this year already, and it's September. And, you know, a little bit of luck, he's maybe working on number 11 tonight. So he has been racing very, very good of late, and I'm very impressed with him. This video isn't just to talk about a number of the horses. As I said, I don't know if I caught the start of this or not. I had to restart my video. Foxy Seaside trained really well this morning. Very happy with her. We made a few little changes. Corey Kreiser's going to drive her, and the reason I picked Corey is because he's a horseman and he understands also. I said, she is fast enough to do anything, but you got to drive her like a trotter a little bit. She'll allow you to put her in bad spots. Just try your best to put her in a good spot. I know it's not an easy thing to do from post 8, but the way she trained today too leads me to believe that if he does find a decent spot for Foxy Seaside, she'll give them all they want on Saturday night. Also, now, the video was not just about Dune or Delicious Stone or Foxy Seaside or Manhattan Money today. This video was for updates. Every day it seems like now I get an update. A number of people asking about, hey, did you get the blood work back on Tomboy Strong? Did you get? Yes, I did. Her white count has jumped again. It's a bit perplexing, both to me and to Dr. Latessa. Trying to figure it out, trying to find the best way forward. Problem being that white count has soared up to 10, up to almost 12.2 in the last 2-3 weeks. And what I'd said to Dr. Tessa was the other day when we went to race her, she was very lethargic coming out of the stall, almost made me feel like she had tied up a little bit, but she did not. So that white count, there is something bothering her. We've put her on a number of different antibiotics over the last 3 weeks, and nothing has really done the trick. It's not in her lungs, it's not in her throat, it's not in her airway. It's something else, and just one of those weird things. I went to pick up Nassau from the farm the other day. They told me he's a little bit sick still. It's not coming out of him. Very lethargic in the field. It happens. I mean, you get a horse that spent most of his life in one climate and comes to another. I mean, then you have a horse like Agent Black who's come from another hemisphere and never missed a beat. He's ready to go right now when we can get him qualified. His only hurdle is we don't have his DNA back. He's not in the database in North America right yet. Now, he may be in the coming days, in which case he'll qualify quickly. But every horse is a little bit different. And right now, this is huge. And right now, more than anything, I'm trying to reassess everyone. You guys know we have 6 in the sale on Monday. Patrick de Piranha is in the sale on Monday. Yeah. We're replacing horses and moving new horses in. I tried to buy
Where did everyone in the first shed go?
we
to
moved,
like Kentucky and stuff?
yeah, we moved them all out, and then we moved everybody over in the second shed row. Because Bobby's safe for now, but she's gonna have to pull her.
For now.
She's gonna have to pull her dress up when she gets back. She's gonna have to work hard when she gets back to the barn. So we have 6 horses. Gaslight Hall is in the sale. Patrick de Piranha is in the sale. Steph's Hope is in the sale. He's a Fearless Peter's in the sale. Resolve Indeed is in the sale. And Riding the Rodeo is in the sale. Those 6 horses are all in the sale on Monday. I think I've been very clear about why I believe they should be and why it's time for them to move on. And that is we're reassessing every horse as we go into the fall right now. We know we have a ton of yearlings that are coming in. We are trying to bring horses in. I bid on horses today. I bid on horses yesterday. I told you guys I was the underbidder on Blue Onyx yesterday, but his owner wanted him more than we did. And when I look down, I'm like, you have that, geez, I should have just bid a couple more times. And then I look down and it says Brad Grant. I could have bid till tomorrow afternoon. It wouldn't have mattered. You weren't getting them. So, I bid on the trotter today, Matt Bax's horse. I bid on a number of horses, but it still has to be value-based. And I had a brief conversation with, Mark Weaver, who ended up getting the horse today. And I said, just horses like, and he told me he was the underbidder on Winter Soldier. So we're all after the same horses for different things. And, we're trying our best, and we will. Now you're starting to see more and more of those types of horses appear on Gate, right? You're going to see more of the Winter Soldiers, more of the Blue Onyxes and Allures. They're going to show up. But as we bring those horses in, we're going to move some of the horses out that kind of are in between classes for us right now and not really doing us much good. Patrick de Piranha is a quality animal in the right jurisdiction, in the right place. Just at the Meadows, I don't like the guy. But he's 5-1 on Saturday. I think he'll win on Saturday, quite frankly. I think he'd be very, very close on Saturday. But he's 5-1. I mean, there's a horse that's coming off pacing in 150 flat 3 or 4 starts ago and racing good all summer long. It's a horse you would think would be the favorite in one of those classes, and he just isn't. So we're going to go through and run down an update. All the horses I've been asked about, all the ones that I thought needed an update, all the ones that I might be asked about. Thought I would run through all the Blue Rare is Indigo. I see her Indigo. It must be Friday or Saturday, or maybe Monday actually, at Mohawk and the Grassroots, coming off a very good mile. James was very, very happy with her the other day, so I'm expecting good things from her as we head into the latter part of the fall, or I guess the latter part of the summer, now the fall. Cherry's Girl, 12-1 morning line. There's a filly that's raced good all year long. Trotted 56 months. What's that? No, it's a long shot. Mike Wilder's driving her on Friday, tomorrow afternoon in Philadelphia. I told him exactly everything he needed to know about Cherry's Girl. I said, you can drive her like an aged horse. She's a sweetheart. She can follow speed. I would have her forwardly placed if I were you. And I suspect that's exactly what he's going to do. Diosa Della Donza coming off a lifetime victory of 55. I felt bad. I don't, from time to time I'll have people message me, and these are people that are looking for information on horses because they want to gamble on them, right? And their clients also, and I don't have any problem. I'll come on a video and tell you what I think, and with Diosa, I knew that she was going to be very good. I thought that she would do very well, and after warming her up the other night, I simply looked at our, I think it was our caretaker, and just said, they won't beat this filly tonight. She just feels dialed in. You can tell when every bit of her body is rowing in the right direction, right? When she's dialed in and firing on all cylinders in the warm-up, I just know she's a talented filly. And the thing about her is now she's getting smarter. I wish she had done this weeks ago, but you guys saw the work we put into these horses all fall long. She's as far along as she could be with anybody, I believe. And now starting to put it all together. My only concern moving forward is in Delaware next week with all those shadows everywhere. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't an issue that was maybe coming up in my own private discussions in my head. The shadows in Delaware with what's that, sweetheart?
Stop up here. I think he knows it.
I know where I'm going, babe. Oh, thank you. Red light. I get it. Thank you. So Diosa Della Donza, aside from that, if they don't happen to bother, which they may not, we won't have a problem in Delaware because she's coming off just a very confidence-building mile, and I was very pleased with her. Emerald Tom, you'll see that Jolene Hall is in with Emerald Tom on Monday. Jolene Hall is coming back. Now, the only problem we have is getting her back here in time. So we have to get her out of Kentucky and back to Ohio to race on Monday evening. Now Rico Tubbs races in the afternoon. I wasn't going to be able to make it back, and I had to make a decision before the draw in Ohio. We had a couple of horses that didn't get in, and I knew that Jolene was coming back. I was hoping they'd split that class. We'd have 5 or 6 horses in. Instead, we ended up with 3. I ended up with 2, and Ronnie Wren on Rico Tubbs, but that won't be a problem. He drove Rico Tubbs. He knows what he's all about. Tim has done the work to him. He feels he is ready to roll for Monday afternoon's final. I'm not familiar with how tough the final actually is. I know that Rico's had a great year, but I think he's like 4-1 morning line. So we'll see how he does in the Poconos on Monday. I will drive Jolene Hall. Justin Irvine, I believe, is available to drive Emerald Tom, who trained good this week, and then I'll drive J.K. Maga from Post 9. He'll be heading to Ontario shortly thereafter that race. Hanger 1, a lot of people asking about. He can qualify on Tuesday. Now, Andy Rickard actually has Hanger 1. Only reason being he has his own farm. It's quiet, and he has a tow gate where he can just put him on the gate and jog him, towing him behind the gate. That way, he can learn. Well, he doesn't really have a problem with the gate, but he can just be in a more relaxed setting. There's just some things that we can't do at Northfield and Tim can't do at the Meadows. And in that regard, we are going to have the odd horse. One sec, sweetheart. We are going to have the odd horse that needs a little more specific, specialized treatment. And Andy can provide that also in this regard. Yes, honey?
Can you go fast?
No, I'm not going to go fast over the Tickle Hill. That is illegal.
But you always go fast.
I know. I never go fast over the Tickle Hill.
He doesn't. He goes the speed limit.
Thank you, Oliver.
Well, can you go a little faster?
I'll think about it. We'll see what the speed limit is tonight. He's a Fearless Peters in the sale on Monday. I don't have to talk much about that. Highest Honors, a lot of people asking me about the blood work. His blood wasn't horrible. There was a few things wrong there. I don't need to look at his blood. I saw the race and I drove the horse the week before. The horse was exceptionally good the week before and exceptionally poor the next week. I already know when I'm looking at his blood, I see the race, I know he's getting sick. So that's why he's missing this week. I saw him come off the track today, a little bit of mucus in his nose. Nothing bad. He was eating his breakfast. He seemed fine, but I know he's getting over something. We're going to give him the time to get over it. He's going to miss this week. J.K. Maga, I said, is racing on Monday. He will be heading to Ontario shortly thereafter. Judy's Money. Somebody said, were you going to get her raced before she raced? No, we're not. I have no interest in that. Wait, so Judy's money interferes behind. She gets behind, much like Gypsy Hill used to. We have tons of horses that always hit. The trotters, lots of people do. But to combat that, we're cooling it out, and we're galloping her to keep her cardio up. This is a filly that is coming in as one of the leaders of the Buckeye. I have no interest in training her, knowing that she's gonna irritate that, so I'm just gonna leave her alone. Just leave the filly alone. Gallop her, keep her tight.
Somebody's honked at you.
Nobody honked at me, honey.
Yeah, someone's going past me honked at you.
I don't think anybody honked at me. I did nothing wrong. So we will continue to gallop Judy's money until Delaware. She's not going to race until Delaware, and I don't really have that much interest. I don't have that much concern about the whole situation. I think we have the ability to keep her tight, and she is sharp as a tack coming in, so I don't think there's going to be an issue there. My name's Wayne. We'll get those OCDs out. I don't believe she's made it over to Dr. Brown's. Actually, now that I say that out loud, do me a favor. Remind me when I'm done my video. I want to text Dr. Brown and see if he got me a thing yet. Thank you for that, Adeline. Rico Tubbs, as I said, is in Monday. He's got a couple little stakes after Monday. He's not done. Him or Cherry's girl. Cherry's got Delaware. She has got the Standardbred. And she also has Virginia left. So that's what we're going to be doing with her this fall. Riding the rodeos in the sale on Monday. Royal Duchess, I wanted to be the one to drive her, but I got to qualify Hanger 1 Tuesday morning. And then I have to race Tuesday evening in Northfield. So I don't know what we're going to do yet with regards to Royal Duchess. So it's a little bit up in the air tonight. Trained her in 2.5, last half in 59. The reason I'm not in a big hurry is she ready to go in the Buckeye? No, she's not ready to go in the Buckeye. She'll definitely race in the fair in Delaware. But where she races after, before, I think that'll be her last start regardless of this season. And I think she's going to mature. She's a tough filly. I think she's going to mature into a nice filly. I hope. Steph's Hope is in the sale Monday. I think that's been well documented. Sterling Hanover, a little bit of mucus in his nose the other day. He's going in the field. I'm going to turn him out for a little while. Tomboy Strong, we talked about her with her white count. We're doing what we can to isolate the issue and combat it, but it's being a little pesky and, as I said, a little perplexing. I think that Dr. Latessa is on top of it. I know he's on top of it, but we'll see what he comes up with tomorrow. Allure is going to train hard tomorrow. Her Spitfire and Agent Black are all going to train around 58 this week. Arrowhead Hanover, we talked about him. There's nothing I can do about that liver count for tomorrow, Saturday. Nothing. And all things considered, I would have to believe that it's going to be a tough road to hoe for him. I can't imagine it's going to be a promising effort from him on Saturday. He's going to do his best because he's a tough horse. I'm going to drive him conservative. He's got the outside anyway. I'm going to have to drive him conservatively anyway. But we're going to have to lean on something I don't like leaning on in horse racing, and that's hope and pray. But having said that, he'll be fine. If he went out and raced great, I would leave with a smile on my face and a little surprised. But he's a very tough horse, and I think he'll be all right. There's nothing we can do about it. It is coming down. It will continue to come down. It's just not enough for me to scratch him on Saturday or for me to say, hey, Tim, what do you think? I've talked to the vets. We're doing the best we can, and he will race on Saturday. But it's going to be a tough outing, I think. Aunt Lily, we're going to work hard on her, get her cleaned up. We already know we're well underway of getting that all cleaned up. So I expect a very good mile from her in Delaware, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Blue Ventura, turns out, was a little sick. Had a little infection in one leg that was bothering him also. That will be all cleaned up. We'll take the next week to put a little more weight. Anytime we take a little break to put weight on this horse, we will. I spoke to Carrie, who's Jason's wife, and she said that they've been working hard, and he eats more than any horse in the barn. So I expect he will start to pack on some beef over the next little while. Captain Incredible turned him out in the field for 3 weeks. Somebody said to me, Anthony, you just told me the track was dead on Wednesday, and when Looks Like Money won in 55. Well, I can't help but ask, if it was dead on Wednesday, could it have been dead on Tuesday when you trained him? Yeah, it could have been. It could have been the track. But you know what?
You want me to bring Sadie's food?
No, I'll bring all the stuff in. Don't worry. I'll be done in a minute.
Okay.
But everybody take your stuff out, please.
I'm leaving that in the car.
No, you're going to take that out of the car. Oh, mostly because not you. Dr. what?
Brown bear.
Yes, thank you. Captain Incredible, going to give him a few weeks off, though. He's going to win the races he's eligible for. It's what we do with him after that and how we manage him after that that's going to make the most difference. And that's the plan with Captain Incredible. Foxy Seaside, as I said, trained great. As I said, NASA, just lethargic still. He was due to come in last week. We just haven't been able to get him out of the field yet. So I just told him, I said, there's no point in bringing him back under the weather. Tell me when he's good. And I suspect this isn't just isolated to now. You know, when we bought this horse, I had high expectations for him, and he came nowhere close to even remotely scratching the surface. And now I'm wondering if there was something going on behind the scenes. So he will come along. You know, Dr. Green and Mother Nature will definitely take care of that. So whether it takes a couple more days or a week, then that will be up to him. Tenacious Hanover looks great. As many of you know, Dr. Brown found the issue with Tenacious Hanover on the right front. The left hind always had that bone bruise. It's getting better. The right front, we x-rayed it 3 times. We had 3 different veterinarians look at him and x-ray him. Nothing was ever found because it takes time. This horse has been racing for about 4 to 6 weeks, and they found a line hidden, a shadow up in the middle of his cannon bone. Dr. Brown said, Anthony, you can give him 60 days in the stall for it to heal properly, or you can let me put a screw in it, and in 60 days he'll likely be going behind the gate. I'm probably going to choose the latter then, I guess. So he looks great. I helped him change the bandage on it. You would never know there was anything there. Horse looks great. He's starting to pack weight onto and looks really, really good. So we went from, you know, what's the best exit strategy for us with this horse to who knows? We'll see what happens when we get him back. Winter Soldier has been great first and second since we got him. Dr. Latessa did work on him. They did his feet. He didn't feel his knees were bad. I was certain he was going to say they were. He didn't feel they were. He thought it was his front feet. Because of his front feet, he was loading, which only leads me to believe if his front feet are bothering him, should we have some pads or bars on him? That will be a discussion for myself, the vet, and the blacksmith, and Jason, both Jasons, at some point the end of this week, first of next week. He's not racing this week. They have the open on Sunday. We'll put him in next Sunday. Agent Black is Daniel's horse. He's ready to go as soon as we get the papers signed and ready to go on him. He's going to be in to qualify. Spitfire Overseas is not far away. I plan on training him in 58 on Saturday with Agent Black. And Patrick the Piranha had a great run with us. Just a really, really nice horse. But you know what? I have to be the GM here, and we are going to move all the horses that are not able to or going to make considerable and consistent impacts in our barn. And Patrick, middle-of-the-road horses, you guys know, you've heard me preach about it. I hate that ladder racing, up and down the middle conditions. I'd like to have open horses that we can move around. If they can't do the open at Scioto or Miami Valley or Dayton, then they can race at the Meadows or Northfield or in a class at Mohawk. But if we're just looking for those bottom conditions, and then once we work our way up, we have to get our heads beat in and just get our way back down, I don't like doing that. None. And when we find horses that are getting into the quicksand of that condition sheet in that manner, I'm more apt just to move them along. So whether it be Patrick or, and you guys know, there's a couple more of them there. A couple more horses that could be added to that list, and they very well might be for the next sale. But I do want to replace those horses as we move on. I know I've seen like the Blue Onyx that was in yesterday. I like that horse. Those are the types of horses we were looking for. And although I may have been the underbidder, looking at who the winning bidder was, I was always going to be the underbidder. So, but there'll be more. There'll be more. So I like the way things are trending. Listen, it's never perfect, right? Ever perfect. We worked all summer to get Arrowhead Hanover good. We worked our way into the consolation where we wanted to be, and now this happens. Now, I will end this with a caveat. I have seen horses go out and race good with liver counts that are elevated. This is not his first go around with elevated liver counts. We've seen it before. We've seen how he raced. He trained good this week. He's coming in good. He's as good as we can possibly have him. Let's just see how he races. But very excited to watch Allure race, JK Mega, Winter Soldier again, all our new horses. I'm very eager and interested to see how they do this week. And of course, Raging Hanover is racing out in the East Coast. Where things have turned the corner, they're coming back around, the horses are racing good. But we have to work hard to keep that going. That's my job. I have to make sure we have the right horses in the right places. And if we can't, and they can't get into the right places, move them on and bring horses in that are going to be able to do that. as we start to get the sale season. It's here now, right? We are in the midst of sale season. It's about to start. Ohio is in 9 days now, and shortly thereafter is Lexington. Then we have London. Then we have Harrisburg. Just lots going on. So I have to be laser focused. And part of that is taking the night off. Yes, I have Manhattan Money, but as far as trotters go, he's been pretty sure-footed. I don't know that the horse has made a break all year long. Maybe one, maybe two in his life. I think Chris Page will be just fine with Manhattan Money, and it allows me to look through the rest of the sale catalogs, finish up some stuff, and get a video like this done to you guys. So, there, I believe I've updated everybody. If you haven't heard your horse's name and you want an update or need an update, reach out to me. I'll be available, obviously, all night and all day tomorrow, and happy to chat whenever you feel the need. So, take care. I hope you're having a great latter part of your week. Tomorrow is Friday, and then the weekend. We'll talk to you all very soon.